What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. We're starting the day off on the wrong foot. Sunday night, Bitcoin dropped a little bit, and the miners are definitely red today. We do have some exceptions. Core Stock and Iren, Iris Energy, are green. Iren has some great news. We're going to go over that, but we're definitely not starting this week off on the right foot. It is going to be a volatile week. We have the Fed meeting coming up, and we are going to see some big red days and some big green days, in my opinion. It is not going to be a boring week. And speaking of the Fed meeting, I'm looking at the Fed watch tool here. I'll leave it down below for you guys so you can keep an eye on it. But now the market is expecting a 50 basis point cut more than a 25 basis point cut. They're expecting the larger cut now. I will say that I'm still expecting the Fed's going to give a 25 basis point cut. This changes quickly, and just like a week ago, it was a 30-70 chance more in favor of the 25 basis point cut. So by Wednesday, this can change drastically. I guess we could see the positive as there is like a 0% chance of a no cut. And the Fed even said last meeting, the time for change is now. Basically, the time for policy change is now. If the Fed dangles that carrot in front of us and then doesn't cut, that would be very messed up of them to do that. It's actually kind of comedic if they were to do something like that. But I do expect a cut. I do expect a 25 basis point cut. Right now, the market expects a 50. We'll see what it ends up being in a couple days. And we got Bitcoin breaking down. Looks like Bitcoin is breaking this trend line that we were watching. It was following this ascending trend and now is falling down from it. Broke the 60,000, was unable to really hold and claim that 60,000. Basically came up to the mid 60s, 60,500 area. Could not close above that range and we got rejected. And now we are breaking our ascending support. We might be testing some lower levels. Any volatility around the Fed meeting, in my opinion, is a great buying opportunity. And I will still say, and I've said it before, that 49,000, basically the head on the head and shoulders we saw, the inverse head and shoulders, that 49,000, in my opinion, is going to be the bottom this cycle on this pullback we had here. I still think 49K was the bottom. I still think that was a great buying opportunity. And these are some of the last chances to buy Bitcoin this cycle, in my opinion, before you're in the FOMO camp and basically chasing it. And I mean, let's face it, even here, this is a much higher price in Bitcoin compared to when we were buying back in 2022, 2023. When you really want to buy Bitcoin during the bear market, during crypto winter, you want to accumulate while it's low, while everyone's avoiding it, you want to run towards it. And then when everyone's running towards it, you want to start walking away. You want to start taking those profits, getting out. Or if you're looking at Bitcoin decades out, simply buy and hold, buy and hold. You can't go wrong there either. And it's a lot easier that way too. So I'm not knocking that strategy, but I do think there's something to following the 4-year cycles, taking some profits along the way, especially in terms of these Bitcoin miners. They will move up a lot when Bitcoin moves up, and they will move down a lot when Bitcoin moves down. You definitely don't want to hold on to them throughout a crypto winter. I made the mistake of holding a little bit last cycle. I don't think I'm going to make that mistake again. Now, I do want to talk about this Iren news, and they're planning on increasing their AI cloud services to being about 10% of their earnings. And right now for these Bitcoin miners, the AI is really the moneymaker while Bitcoin's at these prices. But I do expect this to change when Bitcoin goes on its next rally. The AI sector, the AI segment might be the least favorable segment. And the Bitcoin miners that are just holding Bitcoin, just mining Bitcoin, solely Bitcoin providers will benefit the most when Bitcoin goes parabolic. But on the pullbacks, these AI miners will probably hold up pretty well versus the others. The AI are some major reasons I hold BT and Iren, for example. And I think it's good to hold different Bitcoin miners for different reasons. They will run at different points in the cycle. But let's get into this news before this becomes too long of a video. As said by Iren's CEO, co-CEO I should say, we're seeing strong levels of demand for new generation GPUs. Ongoing discussions with NVIDIA and participation in their cloud partner program gives us added confidence in deploying this new capacity. The purchase is estimated to increase the AI cloud services by about 10% of their overall earnings by year end. And they expect to continue growing that proportion, so it's going to get larger and larger through 2025. With this announcement, they're purchasing 1,080 of the latest generation H200 GPUs. They're now moving from the H100s already. 43.9 million for that, with delivery and commissioning expected in the fourth quarter of 2024. This increases Iren's GPU fleet to 1,896 H100s and H200s, $32 million of annualized hardware profit. And as for their Bitcoin mining, let's move this up so I'm not in the screen. As for their Bitcoin mining, Iren installed their capacity of 18.8 exahash with a 16.3 joules per terahash efficiency. That's insane. They also are on track for their expansion to 20 exahash this month and 30 exahash in the fourth quarter of 2024, by the end of the fourth quarter probably. $20,000 electricity cost per each Bitcoin mined. That's fantastic. $31,000 all-in cash cost per Bitcoin mined. Now let's see what this all-in cash cost means. All-in cash costs include electricity costs, obviously, and all other operating expenses, including corporate overheads. But here's their proportions, basically. 90% is Bitcoin mining, 10% is AI. We will see this kind of balance more, get closer to each other. Hardware profit, 304 million from Bitcoin mining, 32 million from their AI. Electricity costs, 1 million from their AI, 156 million from their Bitcoin mining, and a revenue of 460 per year from Bitcoin mining and AI, 33 million at their current amount of machines. Now looking at Iren, I do like it here still. I do think it's still a buy. I am not personally buying, but if you're still looking to build out a position, I do think it's still great. While it's under 8, maybe even while it's under 9, the higher it goes, the riskier it gets though, and the later into the cycle we get, the riskier it gets as well. But yeah, I mean, if you follow the long-term trend since basically the end of the bear market since 2022, Iren has been in this gorgeous uptrend, very clear, easy to follow trend, gets to overbought, starts getting RSI divergences and sells off. For example, on our last run, the RSI peaked on this, but then the price peaked higher. RSI was already dropping. This was a clear sign of exit, time to exit, not to mention how much we ran. I mean, that was pretty obvious. But in my opinion, now is the time to be a buyer. Now is the time to add to these Bitcoin miners you like. 6 is an important level if Iren does start heading down. 6 will be important, but first will be 7. That was a previous resistance point. And if the market sees that we're unable to hold, we do sell off on a break of that 7. And once we break over 7, the market does try to hold it over 7. So there is a reaction to 7. Even on this previous peak, we kind of reacted to it. I do think it'll be an important level to hold. If we break 7, we are heading towards probably 6. A break of 8 would be nice, but I think a break of 9 would be even better. That would get us out of all this chop that we are recently in. There are also previous resistance points that were right around 9. One thing I'm also watching with Iren, I'll bring up the RSI a little better. I'm watching for Iren to finally break over this 50. It's been finding the 50, the middle point of the RSI, as resistance. Once we can get over that 50, we can start getting more bullish momentum, but right now it has been finding it as resistance. And I want to actually show you guys, we do have a bit of a bearish RSI divergence. Market might not notice or it might not matter. Watch where the price goes, obviously, but if we get rejected here, we will see a divergence. These levels will be the same, and the price from here to here dropped. Unless we keep moving, if this RSI keeps breaking above, if Iren can move a little higher, this bearish divergence will be invalidated. We just need this RSI to break over 50, which would be fantastic. Market might react to that though, and we might sell off here. Overall, the Bitcoin miners are pretty beaten down today. Bitcoin's somewhat down today. Iren is clearly just popping on this news. This doesn't change anything about the business today, and the market's just taking advantage of the move. We'll see if it's maintained. I do think we're going to start pulling back for Iren. I think we're going to end the day slow bleed down. Who knows if I'm right or wrong. But look at the RSI on the 1 hour. You'll see there is a bearish divergence on the 1 hour as well. RSI is cooling down while the price is trying to maintain the same level essentially. And basically it's been doing this. You'll see the RSI leveled out here and the price was steadily rising. That momentum is slowing down though. Let me know what you guys think about this Iren news. What do you think the Fed is going to give us? Are we getting a 50 basis point cut, a 25 basis point cut, a no cut, a 75 basis point cut? What do you think? Let me know down below. Do you think that the 49K back in August was Bitcoin's bottom, or are we going to revisit that? Are we going to go under 49K before we rally, or is the rally over? What do you think? Always love hearing your guys' opinions. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.